I have 100 plus clients for my marketing agency, and the amount of work it takes on my end just to maintain it every single day is about 1 to 2 hours of work. Everything after that is just pure choice and me playing offense, doing things to try and push the business forward and obviously make more money. But in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how the business is structured, what the team looks like, and how I got it to this point to where it could run itself and not even need me involved to put out daily fires in the first place. So we can put the departments of the business really in two buckets, the front end and the back end. And front end is sales, acquisition obviously, and then the back end is going to be retention and ascension. So we'll start with the front end. In the front end, we do have a sales director full-time, and he runs the entire day-to-day. He runs the entire sales floor. He's handling the majority of inbound leads that are inquiring with our business, running them through the sales process, hitting them, with sales assets, trust assets, warming them up, making sure that we're dealing with our ICP, and closing the majority of the deals. Okay, so he's pretty self-explanatory in that role too. For him to even get to the role of being sales director for us, it took well over a year to bring him on and then work with him very, very closely. And he started as a setter and just climbed his way, to the top in a pretty short amount of time in the grand scheme of things. But it took a lot of time. This is a common pattern here that you'll see, is there was a lot of time, energy, and effort put into the key roles that we have on our team and in our company to get them to the point now where they can run their department smoothly, just about as good as me or my business partner could, and handle the majority, and I'm talking, 95, maybe even 99% of the fires that occur, on a daily basis within a marketing company, and they can do it flawlessly. So sales director starts with us, and he starts as a setter, and I'm very much involved in the day-to-day with him, even just him being a setter, reviewing calls with him, doing mock calls with him, making sure he knows how to work the CRM, obviously, keeping his pipeline up to date, just good pipeline hygiene as well, and really just all the best practices that, I took and implemented for myself when I was closing the majority of the deals and running the entire sales floor by myself with no help at all. It was really just me, myself, and I doing the marketing and doing all the closes. And I was able to just make that imprint on him very early on and propagate it into his mind that this is how things are done. This is how you need to think to thrive in this role. Again, it started early. It started really early. So as he went through setting, he eventually got into closing, and then he eventually got himself to where he is now, which is he's in charge of the entire sales floor at our marketing company, and he's running everything. And now he's making really good money doing it as well in a pretty short amount of time. So he climbed the ranks very fast, but it wouldn't have happened if I didn't put very intentional time and effort into him. And I took a risk. I took a risk on him, risked my time, risked energy, risked resources to, get him to this point. And with him, obviously, it paid off here. Now, back end, we'll go over to the back end really quick. We have 2 full-time client success managers, and I really don't even like to refer to them as client success managers because they really are operators. They maintain the relationship with the clients, and they're responsible for a lot more of that. I mean, the media buyers, the call center, they really do take specific orders from the client success managers, and that's kind of why I like to refer to them as operators, because they're getting their hands dirty. This is not a customer service role where they're mediating between the back end, playing telephone between the back end team that's actually pushing the results to the client, making sure that everything's okay. It's not really what it is. There's a really deep amount of coaching that goes into it as well between our CSMs and our clients as well. Making sure that they're closing deals, making sure that they're maintaining good pipeline management, they're maintaining best practices as well. So we can give our clients the highest chance for success when they are dealing with the appointments that we're booking onto their calendars and the sales opportunities that we're sending their way. And then also when, say, just so an example here, say that a client is, maybe he's experiencing a lot of cancellations, right, with appointments, right? Then the CSM, the operator, can go right to the our call team and be like, hey, like what's going on here? Quickly analyze like all of the calls, like see what's happening and be like, okay, like this needs to get fixed, this needs to get fixed. This needs to get implemented here. And same thing with like the media buyers as well, where we need to make a campaign switch. Like we need to switch to like a different offer. We need to double down like on this offer right now for this client because this is printing. We can afford to spend more. We can get more aggressive and divert more of the ad spend to this specific service that we're trying to get that client. But really it's this all-encompassing role where not only are they maintaining that like internally, in-house, that we're doing everything we possibly can to get our clients the best result possible. But then when they're meeting with those clients face to face, speaking to them over the phone, texting them back and forth, whatever it is, they can actually coach them and give them advice on not only just like how to close the appointments and like how to like succeed with us, but also hit other desired outcomes in their business as well. And it just makes our service like that much more stickier because we offer that. And it's not even something that we really pitch on the front end. It's kind of like a hidden value add that we have that. And we pay, I mean, as far as I'm aware, we pay more than the majority of what CSMs are making. And a lot of our, like, just my own peers and my own, even competitors, our CSMs are making a significant amount more than what most people are paying their CSMs. And we're seeing that return. We're seeing that return in the retention. So our lead CSM, I mean, she's been with us now for well over a year at this point. And, she wasn't this dialed in, obviously, when she first started with us. And it took a lot of very intentional time, energy, and resources to, kind of get her up to par. And she was not like, we've had other CSMs in the past. Like, we've gone through CSMs. And she was just very coachable. I mean, obviously, my own energy that went into, training her, getting her up to speed, it was a lot, but it ultimately ended up paying off. Like teaching her like how to actually be an operator and some, customer service representative or a client success manager, but to really be like an operator. And I think imprinting just that belief on our CSMs from very early on when we hire them and even prior to hiring them, this is what we're expecting, has made a much bigger difference for us in the long term and the results that we're able to get our clients and the retention. And the majority of the revenue that the marketing company generates is on the back end. It's not like, this is not like a sales heavy carried, like when you look at it like on paper, like, yeah, we do well in the sales department, but majority of it is all coming from the back end and recurring revenue because, our clients are getting such good results. And we have these operators in place to really ensure that they're getting those results. So even though we pay them more, we see the result in the back end and it pays for themselves. They pay for themselves multiple times over because of that. So that's kind of how it's broken down. And then we have other departments as well, like I briefly hit on, which was our call center, media buyers as well. And I think a big thing too that has really allowed like every department, so the client success managers, the call center, the media buyers, and even the sales department as well, we've just completely enhanced their ability to do a much better job and allowed them to spend more time doing what they are good at, was implementing AI into the business and the AI layer that we have built into the company. So for example, we hired a full-time AI developer role to literally just work for us full-time. So then myself or my business partner, like we are not spending any time like learning AI, like trying to figure out, stay up with the trends. I could completely detach from that and just pay somebody to do it for us. And then obviously look for opportunities in areas of the business where he can build tools and implement AI to improve efficiency, speed, and then obviously cut costs as well. But the biggest two things have been the efficiency and speed portion of that. For our media buyers, he built an entire media buyer dashboard that plugs into all of our client accounts, like all of our client ad accounts, and it can tell us in real time, like the pattern recognition from like a 30,000 foot view looking at all of these accounts and be like, okay, this angle is winning, this copy is winning, this creative is winning, this service is winning, this offer is winning, or, and vice versa, like what's failing, what's not working. So we can adjust like way, way, way quicker now. So what would have taken us, weeks to gather data, put it all together, it's now taking us like a day, like sometimes even less than that to compile data so we can make necessary changes on our clients' campaigns and their accounts to ensure and maintain, good quality results. And of course, our clients see the effect of that system and of that AI layer, that project that we put into place in closed deals, and just consistency on our end in the appointments, the bids that they're putting out, and just deals in general. Same thing with our call center as well. When we're sending appointments to our clients, sometimes we might not be certain that this is like a good lead or something that our client would want to take on, but we're never going to deny our client the opportunity to sell something. So we built an AI agent to score these potential appointments and these leads that are coming through after we had the conversation with them on the phone, and then it sends it directly to the client. So it'll have like a confidence score. So for example, it'll be like, we have this client in this area, this is what he's looking for, this is our confidence score. Say it's like an 80% confidence, like we're thinking that we should book it, but give us your opinion. And then there's a button like on the Slack message that we send to our client that says approve or disapprove. And they can either approve it, and when they click one of those two buttons, it'll either just disapprove the appointment or it'll approve the appointment and automatically put that appointment right onto their schedule. So that's just a few ways where we've been able to like layer in AI. And then I'd say one of the bigger things for implementing AI into all of this is me looking at like a CEO level dashboard and doing a very quick bottleneck analysis. And it's all of our sales calls, our transcripts, all of that data goes into AI, and we use it to obviously tweak marketing as well, but then do like a full complete bottleneck analysis. So one thing, like last month, like we had a little bit of a show rate issue. I was able to run a complete bottleneck analysis using data that was compiled by AI to quickly find the point in the funnel like that we had to attack. And like this past month, we were able to attack that thing, and it increased our ROAS by like a full point. Like we went from like 3 something the month prior to doing a little bit over 5, like a little over a point, just because we attacked that one issue by doing bottleneck analysis that it would have just taken us way longer to do if we didn't have the data compiled by AI in the first place. And then on a marketing standpoint as well, because I stay very involved on the marketing side for the business to actually generate us the opportunities needed so we can keep growing. That's where my time will get spent when I'm taking bets, trying new things, increasing ad spend on this, throwing money at that. That's where a decent amount of my time will go, because AI is just like consuming all of these sales assets. So I now know like very quickly with one prompt, like the biggest reason why people didn't close with us and the biggest reason why people did close with us. And then I can like lean into those, just those two angles pretty aggressively in the marketing on the front end. So if I'm getting like a certain type of objection, I can just prevent the objection entirely on the front end through marketing and back end selling assets to then not even have to deal with that anymore at all. This took 3 years to build. This did not happen overnight. And our key players, they've been with us for over a year. And like I mentioned, it took a ton of time, effort, energy, and money to get them to the point to where they're at now. And it also took us going through a lot of other staff members to get to the point where we were able to find these A players and then ramp them up and scale them internally in the business. If you can't get it to run without you, you don't have a business at all. You just have another 9-to-5 job. And I know me, I left that world and I was not trying to build a job for myself. I wanted to build a business that could run without me. My first hire 3 years ago was a $4 an hour VA where she was literally just doing outbound DMs for 40 hours a week. And it started there. And then my first big hire that I had made was an appointment setter that was full-time. And immediately, like right off the rip, that was like a year after hiring the VA, I just got him as well versed as I could in the industry that I was in and selling to, and got him to be a really, really good setter so I could easily ascend him because he was hungry, he wanted to be closing deals, and I wanted to play into that. And obviously it was a good fit because I was able to spend a lot of time with him, working with him one-on-one to where he was just setting for me. I was able to give him very good feedback. So it was a very short and quick feedback loop that I had for him. So he was able to get better, improve rapidly. And 8 months later, he was starting to close deals, and I was able to double down on the marketing, get even more leads to where he could close and then I could close as well. So on most people that I hire, like I'm just expecting like a net loss, like in the short term. Like I'm not expecting them to like pay for themselves in like even like the first month, which a lot of people would probably disagree with me on that. But I want them to fail, and I want them to fail quickly in the early stages. I mean, unless you're spending like, 15, 20K a month, like on a payroll position, then I mean, obviously that person should probably be pretty dialed from the get-go. But like, if you're underneath that, like I want them to fail like as fast as possible in the short term so they can learn faster. And I know if they're not going to work out, and I can see very quickly if they're going to work out in the long term. So then I can fire fast and then hire fast as well. And with our key players, like we expect them to pay for themselves like 4 or 5 times over, just on the low end. That's how we can kind of measure their progress, how well they're doing with us, if they're going to be around like long term, are they going to succeed, are they not? They should be paying for themselves 4 or 5 times over. This took 3 years to build and to get to this point. This was not overnight at all. And our key players now have been with us for over a year. And it took a lot of time to ramp them up and find the right person that was going to be fit to the position that we were looking for, and be a good fit for the industry that we're serving as well. It had to be a fit on all fronts. We went through a lot of people. We went through a lot of other staff members before we were able to dial in our crew now. We've gotten to the point where we're really lean. We have a very good team with multiple A players on it that do not need me involved in the day-to-day at all. Like they'll hit me up every once in a while, or like I'll hop on calls with them like a few times a week with the back end team, look for upsells, like look for cross sells. If somebody's about to churn, like what can we do to like prevent churn from happening, and like spot churn saves, before they even occur. That's something that I consider high ROI for my time, so it's something I spend time doing. And then same thing with our sales director as well, meeting with him one-on-one at least once a week, just to go over the pipeline, any deals that might be stuck in limbo, to see what we could do to push them over the edge, and be sure that we're just maintaining KPIs. This is the system that allows me to work an hour, 2 hours a day, and spend the rest of my time doing the things that are actually going to move the needle, push the business forward, and at the end of the day, make more money.